Hey friends! Today is an exciting day because it is Sam's birthday. Today's also kind of a stressful day for me because I have taken on the challenge of making his birthday cake, which is a challenge in and of itself, but Sam has requested a ice cream cake, which I've never made before. So I figured I would bring you guys along for the adventure. So this is not my own recipe. I am not a great dessert baker. I'm definitely a better bread baker. So the recipe I'm using is from Haagen-Dazs's website. It's for their mint chip ice cream cake. I'm just gonna switch out the ice cream that we're using, and I'm also I'm gonna make my own Heath, toffee, which I'm a little stressed about because I read the recipe for the toffee, which is from handletheheat.com, and I thought it was regular sugar, but it calls for light brown sugar, and I don't have light brown sugar. So what I do have is regular granulated sugar and molasses, which is essentially what brown sugar is. So I'm going to make my own brown sugar and hope that it works out. First things first, I want to make the toffee. Okay, so because I feel like I didn't explain that very well, I'm making an ice cream cake. It's going to be chocolate cake with coffee ice cream and vanilla ice cream. And I'm gonna do a layer of toffee crumbles for the crunch factor. And then on the top, I'm gonna top it with a chocolate ganache. Never made ganache before. I've never made toffee before. I've made cake, but never an ice cream cake, so I figured it would be fun to film and show you guys. So let's get the ingredients for the toffee, since I'm the most stressed about that section of this recipe. Okay, so I'm really sorry if you can hear my fridge. I've gotten a few comments about white noise in the background of my videos, and I'm pretty sure it's the noise that my fridge is making that I just don't realize. But the problem is that I film most of my videos in my kitchen, so I can't unplug my fridge while I'm filming and yada yada yada. So very sorry if the white noise is bothersome to you. There's not really anything I can do about it. All right, so to make brown sugar, all you need is a cup of regular sugar. I'm just gonna use my KitchenAid mixer. You don't need to use a KitchenAid. You can use a regular mixing bowl with a hand mixer, but because I'm gonna use this to make the cake anyways, I'm just gonna use it to make this too, so I have less dishes to clean up later. So for a cup of brown sugar, you need a cup of white sugar and 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses. I'm just gonna mix it up until it resembles brown sugar. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. Ta-da! Brown sugar. Okay, so now that we have our cup of brown sugar, we need to get a stick of butter and head over to the stove. Okay, I've got my butter melting here. Add my salt. And my sugar. It says to whisk vigorously. Okay, well, I am breaking a sweat officially. And I'm also officially mixing the toffee. So that was a complete fail. It separated like crazy, and I took it off the heat like the recipe said to see if I could get it back together, and I could not. So we're just gonna skip that and continue on with the rest of the cake. I'm literally sweating. After that whole fiasco, let's move on to making the cake. So again, I'll have the recipe linked below. I'm not gonna go into super depth. Or maybe I will, who knows. Sometimes I get to rambling and there's no stopping. The dry ingredients include 1 cup of flour. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not cleaning this because it just has sugar in it and I can't be bothered. 1 cup of sugar. 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. Sorry, I just realized you can't hardly see what I'm doing. It's better. 1 teaspoon each baking powder and baking soda. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Again, using Redmond real salt as always. I do have a discount code with Redmond. It is an affiliate code, so if you decide you want to try anything from their site, I do get a small commission. Combine these ingredients. Okay, now for the wet ingredients, we need 1/2 cup of whole milk, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using canola oil, I hope that's okay. 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to use vanilla bean paste because I have it, and mix to combine. Okay, this is looking good. I'm just gonna scrape down the sides. Okay. Have my greased 9-inch cake pan here. This is a very thick cake batter. I feel like cake batter is not normally this thick. So here's to hoping I didn't mess anything up. Like, do you see how thick that is? Holy moly. I'm gonna try to get this as evenly spread in the pan as I can. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and bake it for 30 to 35 minutes in a 350-degree oven, and then I will see you in a second. Okay, this is done. I'm gonna let it cool for 5 minutes in the pan, and then I'm going to take it out and let it cool on the rack completely. Now this is always the most nerve-wracking part. I'm gonna run a knife around the outside. At least, I mean, it came out pretty flat, which I'm excited about. Usually there's like a little lump in the middle. If anything, it's kind of sloped downwards in the middle. Moment of truth. Did it go out? Gosh, I can't grip it. Oh my gosh, yay! This never happens to me. Okay, that was kind of dramatic, but I am super excited. It looks beautiful. Okay, now I need to let this cool completely. Like a little nervous that it's slipping in the middle, but I'm gonna try to not let that bother me too much. I'm gonna move this to the side and let it continue to cool. But while I do that, I'm going to get started on my ice cream layers. So I have here some coffee Haagen-Dazs and a little thing of vanilla. I'm thinking I'll do a thick layer of the coffee and a thinner layer of the vanilla on top. I think that would look nice. So I need to let these like kind of thaw a little bit for like 30 minutes. And then I'm going to spread it into this other cake pan. I'm gonna line it with parchment paper so it's easier to take out. And I'm gonna put it in the freezer so it can set up. Okay, my ice cream is nice and soft. I wonder if I can just, yep, there it goes. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in the freezer for a few minutes and then we will do the vanilla layer. The coffee layer has been setting up in the freezer a little bit. Since I failed with the toffee pieces, I am just going to add these cacao nibs. They are crunchy and chocolatey and it seems like a good replacement for the toffee. I think the metal spoon was definitely the better spreader compared to the spatula. Okay, we got some floaters with the cacao nibs, but I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna stop messing with it because it's very melty, and I'm gonna put it in the freezer for a minimum of an hour. Okay, hello, much later now. I ended up flipping the cake over, so there's these funny little grooves in it. So I think I'm gonna cut this cake like into 2 layers. I thought about just having like the cake, the ice cream, and the ganache and be done. But I think I'm gonna be ambitious and make this into 2 layers, so it'll be cake, ice cream, cake, ganache. Ah! Well, it's a little uneven. You know, that is not too dang bad, and that is a beautiful looking cake. Okay, so I think this should actually be my top layer. I'm gonna move that over. This is gonna be my bottom layer. And now I'm gonna go get the ice cream out of the freezer. Okay. Just flip it right onto it. Oh my gosh. This feels like a bad idea. Oh my god. Okay. There's definitely a better way to do that, but I just sent it. Ice cream layer on, other cake layer on top. Okay. And just like a giant ice cream sandwich. I'm gonna clean up the edges really quick so it's all like even the best I can with this little bench scraper. Back into the freezer, and I'm gonna make the ganache. Now for the chocolate ganache, or chocolate glaze is what they call it actually. I need 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then I'm gonna heat up some heavy cream, half a cup to be exact, and then pour it over the chocolate chips and it'll melt and turn into a glaze. I've never done this before either, so this is all just a big learning experience for the both of us. I'm gonna let that sit. Okay, now I'm gonna let that cool or come to room temperature more like it for about a minute or 2. It's time to glaze this cake. So get it glazed and then put it back in the freezer. Looks like a Boston cream pie. So my cake does have a little bit of a dip in the top here, so I'm gonna try to, oh, you know what? Maybe I will just let it drip over the edge because it's already happening and I don't really want to stop it. Maybe? I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. Anyways, it's gonna taste delicious. I don't know if it's gonna look beautiful. Listen, I'm not a professional cake decorator. At least this glaze is making the top look more even. All right, I'm calling it good, peeps. Back into the freezer it goes. It doesn't look the cutest, but I think it's going to taste delicious. So that's all that matters. Back into the freezer. Surprise! Surprise! Happy birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Want me to cut it?
I haven't had an ice cream cake in so long.
It's a big piece.
It's my birthday. It's a lot of ganache.
Yeah. Well, it also all like pooled in the middle because the cake wasn't completely flat.
It's fine. Has good structure.
Hi friends, so clearly I forgot to end this video because Sam and I just sat on the couch and we ate ice cream cake and we watched The Office, and Sam had a really great birthday. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.